So we have discussed in earlier session that PACS8 message having two parts majorly. It's the group header and credit transfer information. So group header has contains set of characters that we are going to discuss, okay, and credit transfer information is having actual payment which we are processing, okay, two things. And we have discussed in this flow that whenever a debtor and a creditor are sending payment, and every time when PACS is sent from the previous instructing agent to the next instructing agent, means debtor bank to the creditor bank, between that the correspondence a PACS2 is also generated, which is kind of a status message, okay. How the status message, what are the function of that we are going to see in separate session of PACS2 messages. But there is a PACS2 message which is also getting generated on each one. That's a kind of status message. The financial institution to institution customer agent used to move the funds from debtor account to the creditor, where, okay, that's we have discussed just now, from debtor to creditor. Then what is the group header? It is having message identification. And what is message identification? That is this tag. Message identification is message ID. This is message ID, message identification. It is located in the group header of FI to FI, credit transfer information, okay. That's here in message ID. That is the Ankit, did you recognize this thing we have discussed earlier? If not, then quickly I'm moving ahead now, okay. Then for payment clearing and settlement, PACS message, message identification, message ID has no exact equivalent value in legacy empty payment message. However, the sender's reference field 20 could be considered to a similar comparison when PACS message contains a single transaction. Okay, so there is no equivalent field for message ID here, message ID, but it's saying that though there is no equivalent field here, but this is the sender's reference can be considered as message ID. Okay, this can be considered as message ID in PACS8 message. These things we can consider from here, okay, though there is a no confirm, okay. And one more thing we saw yesterday, how to map the messages. If you seen the chats, that we have seen how to map the empty 103 messages with PACS8 message. So this is empty message, okay, empty message, empty 103, which is field 20. So it is mapped with PACS8 message is like this, because it is lying into FI to FI credit transfer information. So that's here, okay. And inside that we are still not reached to the main part of the message, so we have reached only till message ID. So that's why it is message ID here. Then a random value for message ID, okay. Then you have to use the Java logic here, Java how they close the bracket, open the bracket. So here closing the bracket, like this we can map it. So why this is important? This is important when you want to do the migration project, MT to MX migration, that time it's important. So yesterday, Ankit, for your information, we have mapped this 32A 71A in the similar fashion, how to map it. So I'm quickly walking through you now what exactly, okay, how to map other things, okay. In a similar fashion we have mapped other, okay. So this is just FYI, okay, we have learned this today, mapping. This notes will help you when you learning day 15, mapping MT to MX. Okay, and in a similar fashion, Ankit, you can map the other areas. Like for example, if you want to map this interbank settlement date or interbank settlement amount, okay, which is field 32A, so your flow will be FI to FI credit transfer information, which is a parent. Below that, credit transfer information, and below that, this field or this field as per your requirement. So same thing I have showed here, 32A transfer information, interbank settlement date, and this is the closing bracket of everything. Same fashion, um, settlement date you can map it like this, in the similar fashion like here. So 32A settlement date. This is important when you are doing actual migration. You can explain your projects also, or in your analysis also. If somebody asks you that did you done the mapping of as well, you have experience, or at least you have the knowledge of the mapping, so that time you can explain like this. If you can explain for PACS 8 as well, it's sufficient. Everybody will understand that you did mapping. Similar for 71A charges. For charges also, customer to customer credit transfer information, and inside that charges are there. So if you come here, this is charge bearer, right? So inside that charges information or charge bearer, so this also can be mapped here. So just for your reference, I am showing this as well. So we have learned this as well yesterday. Okay, this is entirely a separate project, by the way. When I am showing you the mapping, that time also I will teach you how to do mapping. Mapping. You should have interest of learning as well, right? So I have to put something that you will get interest. Yes, this thing. Okay, so mapping M2 to MX. Okay, then, after this we have discussed the next topic, that is, okay, this we have done message ID. It is 35 characters long, and format of that, sender's reference, it's all there. After that we have discussed about creation date, its format in millisecond, this also we discussed. Then number of transactions, always one as per CBPR guideline, but we have a dedicated field for here. So number of transaction is filled here, number of transactions is one. And how to, did I show you how to read this hyperlink, Ankit? Oh, you are aware of that, fine, then I will not show you. Okay, then okay, then we come to the one more part of the, did we discuss this method with you, COV INDA INGA settlement methods? No, okay, I will quickly walk you through what are the settlement methods. Okay, to settle the payment in PACS area, we don't have like we don't have this field in empty messages. This is only introduced in PACS messages for ISO20022. So what it says the settlement method element within the group header, that is settlement information, includes one of the embedded codes to indicate how the payment message to be will be settled, who will settle the message, and how will be settle the message. Okay, so there are three methods, fourth one we are not using, that is clearing. So there are total three methods for settlement of a payment. First is cover, which is COV. So cover method we used in MT202, right? Or we are going to study in PACS009. So at that time we have saw that customer credit transfer will settle the using cover PACS009. So in case of PACS and MT202 cover, right? Remember, the agents means the banks being used in the covering payment to reimburse the instructing agent and can be provided in the, okay, the short term story is that there are four settlement methods, out of which cover means whenever cover payment we have to send, that time cover is going to settle the payment. Okay, short term story. The next is INDA, means instructing agent, instructed agent, IND, instructed agent is going to settle the payment. And next one is INGA, means instructing agent, who is the sender of the payment, who will settle the payment. Sender of the payment, receiver of the payment, like that. Okay, that's the concept of instructing agent and instructed agent. How that works, that is on the next screen. Agents, account, service, instructed agent. The account held by the instructed agent with the instructed agent may capture certain amount. Deal with that. And one more thing which we are not studying in this year was called clearing. Clearing is not allowed in CBPR plus sections. Instead of use market infrastructure HPPS, but instead used in, okay, so CLRG clearing is not used in CBPR plus, but it is used in market infrastructure called HAPS. HAPS means high value payment system. There it is used. So that is the HAPS for. So now I'm quickly walking through you where it is located and what. So it is located in settlement method. Here if you see settlement method somewhere, settlement information, can you see it is here? Settlement information, it is part of one by one, I mean it's a mandatory field. If we open this settlement information here, so here under this settlement information, which is one by one field of PACS008, there is called settlement method, and for that settlement method if any account present or not, so either of the two you can use. So and they are instructing reimbursement agents also there, but we are not bothered about that, only we will settlement method. Now if I click on here, the settlement methods have some codes. Okay, so those codes are, just now we discuss cover, in the instructing agent and INGA. Okay, so clearing system is done to clearing system, it is removed from the CBPR guideline, it is not we have to study here. But cover method settlement is done by the cover payment. Okay, so now you will ask me now that why we are studying this. So settlement method is newly introduced in packset messages, and it's very important from um, learning point of view, because settlement methods are not common earlier. It is it was not there in MT series, so that's why I am just quickly checking whether I have very short notes available with me about settlement method, so I can quickly show you that as well, which is my handwritten notes. um, it's here. Okay, the settlement method and its four codes at INDA, INGA, cover and clear, indicating the payment is book or settle. Look at the settlement doesn't require to okay, he's mentioned it's a new and it doesn't have any direct equivalent with empty messages. Okay, so that is mentioned in your CBPR guidelines. So how it is look, it is look like here in the INGA cover and clear RG. It is mandated in ISO20022 that a two PACS8, PACS9 or PACS4, and that means that we should now, or the element is located within the group. Okay, so it is mandatory for PACS8 9 and 4. Settlement method and information both should be a mandatory field within a 4 embedded codes. So 200 is book for settle using this code. I am just trying to understand the last word again. What is that settlement method? Okay, give me 1 minute. On further message search has been settled by the sender's receiver cannot reject it anymore and should be has your return messages. Okay. So first of all, we are studying INGA, which is also here. INGA, INDA. This is INGA and okay. How to read it? This message. First of all, here where the instructing agent means the sender of the sender's bank instructing agent, here the A bank instructing agent means instructing and last G, instructing last G. So this short form is ING agent services the account payment leg. The settlement method is called INGA. Okay, so it is called INGA. INGA message means it is done by the sender's end, and where the instructed agent services account is responsible for setting the payment leg. The settlement method is called INDA. INDA. Okay, INGA and INDA. DA means instructed and G instructing agent. That is the difference between INDA and INGA here. Okay, so that is very thin line of difference between the. Okay, so that is first of all is INGA and second is showing INGA from B to A. Okay, from instructed agent to instructing agent. Okay, we are going to study some more example of this one, but okay. Instructing agent, account servicing to instruct agent. So PACS008 PACS9 message is INGA payment. Okay, and we are yet to study PACS004, which is a return message. Look at them individually. Settlement method is INGA indicates that the settlement is done by the instructing agent, INGA instructing agent, so by the sender of the message. Okay, clear? Settlement is done by the sender of the message. Who is sending the payment? Sender of the message means bank. Who is sending the message? That bank is doing your settlement. Okay, this is also where the name comes from the instructing that becomes in INGA. Instructing becomes INGA. So if you look at the flow, it basically means that, for example, Deutsche Bank, in above example, Deutsche Bank is an by the way, you can see this diagram first of all. Clear now? Diagram? Okay, you should have asked me, right? I forgot to. Okay, so in this diagram, instructing becomes INGA. So if you look at this flow, it basically means that, for example, a Deutsche Bank is an instructing agent, holds an account for the instructed agent. So Deutsche Bank is instructing agent. Okay, and it will settle the payment, so the receiver of the message instructed agent will not be able to reject the message but only return. So once this payment has been sent, the instructed agent or account will only return the payment but cannot reject the payment. That's it's saying for instructing agent. Okay, very simple. I'm going to read once again. Let's look at them individually. The INGA indicates that settlement is done by the instructing agent. Means settlement is done by the instructing agent. This agent, Deutsche Bank, done by the instructing agent. Okay, which is the sender of the message. This also where the names come from the instructing, it become INGA. So if you look at the flow, basically example, Deutsche Bank is an instructing agent, holds an account for the instructed agent and holds for account with the instructed agent, and it will Deutsche Bank is an instructor agent and will settle the payment, so the receiver of the message instructor agent. So once your Deutsche Bank settle the payment, so receiver of the message, which is cannot reject the payment but only can return. So this other bank which only can return the payment, return means PACS004, but it cannot reject the payment. So those are the instructing agent, INGA. Okay, example is just look at from one bank to another bank. Deutsche Bank is sending here, for any bank is sending to instructing agent. That's it. On another hand, next settlement method is called INDA. it indicate that the settlement is done by the instructed agent, so by the receiver of the message. Okay, for your understanding now, don't go in so much detail, but still I will explain. You can ignore also if you not understand. Just keep in mind that sender of the bank is a instructing agent. Okay, instructing agent. Sender means, for example, payment is sent from Shruti to me or Shruti to Ankit. So Shruti is instructing agent bank and Ankit is instructed agent. If you are sending back the payment, okay, he's instructed agent. So sender of the payment is instructing agent. Okay, on another hand, when the settlement is done by the instructed agent, so this is called INDA. Instructed agent means receiver of the bank. Okay, receiver of the message. So when settlement is done by the receiver, it's called instructed agent. Okay, that's thing. In the slow, it means that Deutsche Bank holds an account of the instructed agent and to receive will settle the payment. So here in this case, um, instructed agent from Deutsche Bank PACS008 to PACS009 and hi Priya, you're late for 30 minutes, but no way. I am just explaining the same thing again about um, to Ankit, whatever he missed yesterday. Same thing I'm repeating. One. No, you was there yesterday. No, no, that second session I never taken. I mean to say I've taken, but I generally discuss, not any topic I have covered there. Okay, so today I'm going to cover maximum times to be available. Okay. By the way, this time doesn't suit for you. Okay, okay, um, okay, that's fine. So we are discussing same instructed agent, how it is done the settlement. Only I have one more example by my own notes. That's why I'm explaining on the same thing. Okay, how it's done. So the next settlement method is called INDA, where indicated settlement is done by the instructed agent, so by the receiver of the message. In the slow, it means the Deutsche Bank hold an account with the instructed agent, so the receiver will be settle the payment. Okay, so here the receiver is settling the payment instead of the sender of the bank. So that is the case here. And next one is a cover method, where PACS009 cover will settle the payment instead of instructing instructed agent. Here the below you can see here the cover payment is going to settle the payment. So that's we discuss here. Here the settlement method is curved to indicate that settlement is done by the cover payment, and this message can be used with PACS8 and PACS009 advices here in above one. Okay, uh, just for reference, you Priya don't think we already covered this, right? So I am discussing same thing again. Nothing new we are discussing for Ankit. Then we have next method, clearing, which we have discussed that it is not used in CBPR plus. So clearing code is used only for interaction with the market infrastructure, and it's indicate that the payment will be done by the clearing system. So here you go, INGA, INDA, cover, and clearing are the four I's between the settle method courses that can be you can use for high value payments. Okay, that's the INGA, INDA. Okay, so I am now just referring back to our method here. So those are the three methods which we can use for settlement. Here, for your understanding or for example for anything, if you if you're aware of, only if somebody asks you what are this method, I know four settlement methods are there. This is INGA, settlement by the instructing agent, sender of the payment, sender means sender institution of the payment, receiver, and clearing. Sorry, and cover. And clearing is not in the picture now for CBPR plus. If you can able to answer this question, answer as well, it's fine. No need to explain. Nobody will expect from you this thing. Whenever you're actually working on the project, that time maybe it can help you. But for now, this is sufficient for you to answer is okay. So